Okay, welcome everyone. My name is Clara Stiefel, and I'm so excited that you're here. When I talked to Erin about doing some yoga for Upward Bound, I was so looking forward to it. And yeah, let's see what we can do this month. Um, so welcome. This will be, I'm hoping to be 2 or 3 times a week, about 30 minutes where we do some yoga together. And I think it should be really relaxing and just feel really good. My mom always jokes that yoga is like stretching and breathing. And she's like, if I'm stretching, am I doing yoga? Yes, it's still yoga. So welcome. I'm glad you're here. I thought I would start today with just a little bit about me and about my background, and then we'll end with just a little bit of yoga, some really gentle, easy movements that you can start to practice already. So yeah, I'm Clara. I'm from Colorado. I did my bachelor's in biochemistry, and actually I just finished my master's in genetics. In August already, I'm starting my PhD in Arkansas, so that is kind of crazy. So it's perfect. I have some time this summer before I start my PhD. Yoga is really something that I have been practicing for, I guess, 15 years, 16 years now. And in high school, I did competitive rock climbing and cross country. And yoga was kind of a way just to stretch. And for the rest days, we'd like do some relaxation yoga stuff. But I got really into yoga in college because I was really stressed studying biochemistry, super busy, and it was a really nice way to relax and to help me sleep and to, um, kind of actively recover if I was working in the lab or typing. It was really nice for my shoulders and my hips and all these areas that started to get really tight. So, yeah, I really believe yoga is for everyone, whether you're really athletic and you're really active in sports and you need a good way to stretch, or maybe you're reading a lot or at the computer a lot and you have tight neck and shoulders. Um, Yoga is a great way to stretch all of the areas of the body. And on top of that, it's really nice for our minds. Yoga is a great way to de stress and to release some anxiety, to release some tension that we can kind of get a little wound up during the week. And yoga is a great way to just start to let some of that go. Um, my other goal for us for the summer is to work a little bit with journaling. So the first week we're going to play with the bullet journal. You all might already know this. I'm not sure how much journaling you do currently, but the bullet journal is kind of like the productivity journal meets mindfulness. So I'll attach in the email that this is included in a nice couple of resources for how to bullet journal. And so for this week, I want you to just write down some ideas, things you're working on, your goals. And the bullet journal is a nice way to kind of outline your current goals, steps you can take to achieve those goals. And it's also a nice way to kind of like check off a list each day or every couple of days to check in with how you're doing. So yeah, this week will be bullet journaling, and then 2 or 3, if you have time for the optional third class that I'll send you guys on Friday, yoga classes. So yeah, that's the plan. Let's get started. I do hope that you all enjoy these classes, and hopefully we'll get to do a live class one of these days. I live in Germany, so I'm 7 hours ahead. So maybe we can find a time that we're all free to do a live yoga class, maybe in the middle of June or at the end of June. Anyway, okay, let's do it. So for these classes, if you don't have a mat or some kind of like soft foam thing, you can use like a blanket or even a towel, or like a nice rug or carpet, really anything just so that you can sit comfortably. You don't even really need a rug or a towel either. You can also just sit on the ground. Um, and for some classes, we might use something like a pillow or a blanket, but for this class, you don't really need anything. But if you do have a mat, go ahead and grab it. And the great thing about this is you can always just put me on pause as you run and grab the things that you need. Okay, let's do it. So on your mat, go ahead and sit up nice and tall, or just on your floor, wherever you are. And find a comfortable seat. So this might be sitting cross-legged, or maybe if your ankles or your feet are tight, you start to open the stance a little bit. And a lot of times we're not really paying much attention with how we're sitting. We're just kind of sitting here relaxing, but I want you to sit up nice and tall. And if you want to move a little bit, that's okay. Maybe you rock from side to side. But when you find this tall seated position, when you start to settle, I want you to notice that your head is stacked above your shoulders and your shoulders are stacked above your hips. And you can really imagine that you're lifting the neck and growing through the top of the head. And also notice that your sit bones, your hips are rooting down. And try to sit with a lot of intention. So we're not just hanging out here. You're being really active to pull the belly in and to lift the neck long and the top of the head tall towards the sky. And the eyes are closed, and just try to let the body be a little bit relaxed. So if you feel the muscles of the face are tight or the shoulders are tight, start to relax some of these areas. And usually in yoga, we start with checking in with the body. And so see if you can really send your attention into the body all the way from the toes to your legs and hips and the torso, the shoulders. And I just want you to notice if any areas feel sore or painful. Maybe you slept weird, your shoulder feels weird. Or sometimes if I'm feeling a little stressed or a little anxious, I notice that like my stomach feels tight or my chest feels a little bit tight or stressed. And this is the time in yoga where you just pay attention to that. How are you feeling today? And without thinking, oh, I'm feeling tired, that's bad, I wish I wasn't so tired, without letting your thoughts go along that chain, just notice whatever you find as you check in with your body. And just notice it without judgment, without any emotions of feeling good or bad. Just notice how you feel. And then we'll start to notice the breath, start to breathe a little more deeply. Big inhale in through the nose. And deep exhale. And you can really feel the breath. So as you breathe in through the nose, feel that the rib cage expands. There's a space in the chest. And as you exhale, feel the breath leave the lungs. Do that a couple more times. Really deep, long inhale. Imagine the lungs are filling up. Deep, long exhale. And then if you're at home and you're just by yourself doing this yoga, this is great. You can really make some big breaths. And no one will think you're weird. Good, let's do that one more time. Big breath in. And open mouth exhale, maybe you make some noise. Sigh it out. Awesome, great job. Start to open the eyes. Big inhale, reach the hands high. And try to take up space here. So a lot of times in our day, we're kind of trying to stay small and we're inside doing whatever, but I want you to really grow the hands. Gaze upwards and then exhale, bring the hands to the side and gaze downwards. Let's do that a couple times. A big inhale, reach, gaze to the sky. And deep exhale, gaze down, hands down. Move with your breath, big inhale. And big exhale. One more time, big inhale. This time, listen carefully. Bring the left hand to the right knee and the right hand behind you. Gentle twist. and sit up nice and tall. On your inhale, grow the spine. And on the exhale, twist. Maybe you can even look with the eyes towards the right shoulder. Big inhale. And deep exhale. Good. Inhale, hands high. And exhale, right hand to the left knee, left hand behind you. So if you know that the spine is a little tight or you feel like you're kind of falling out of this, just walk this left hand back towards the hips so you're sitting up nice and tall. Big inhale, long spine. Exhale, twist. Big inhale. Deep exhale. Try to keep the shoulders down. Let's take one more breath and even look with the eyes towards the left shoulder. Maybe you feel the twist in the neck just a bit. One more breath. And then big inhale back to center, reach. And exhale, fold forward. And we really don't have to force anything. And so if the low back or if the hips are really tight, maybe you're not coming very far. Maybe this looks a little bit closer. Or if everything is open and you're pretty flexible, maybe you can already start to relax forward. But just take this as you need it. The head is really heavy. Relax the muscles of the face. And if you don't really know what it means to relax those muscles, you can even kind of squeeze the muscles. So you can squeeze the muscles of the face and then relax them. Send your intention and awareness into the low back. Try to soften that spot. One more breath. And then walk the hands back to center. Okay, bring the opposite leg forward. So if you're here in cross-legged, take opposite leg. Again, find a little bit of movement so that when you come to center, you really feel this alignment of shoulders over hips. Big inhale, reach. And exhale, fold. Keep both hip sit bones, keep the hips down on the floor. So it's like you're being glued down with the hips. And then you're making all this space in the low back as you fold forward. Take up another big breath. And then on your next inhale, walk the hands forward. Awesome. Okay, we have one last pose for the day. I hope you already feel a little bit more open through the shoulders and through the hips. We will do our first official pose, downward facing dog. And this is probably the pose that you have heard the most or seen the most. So start to come forward onto your hands and knees. And then I want you to lift the toes. So you're in almost like a push-up position. We call this a plank. And here with the shoulders stacked on top of the wrists and the legs long pressing back towards the back of your mat or the back of the room. Keep the fingers and the toes exactly as they are. Take a big breath in. And then on the exhale, lift the hips and without moving the feet or the hands, so without coming closer or going further, stay here with this length and lift the hips. And if your legs or the low back are really tight, maybe you have this nice bend in the knees. And we will just be here for 5 breaths. So big inhale, feel the spine is long. And deep exhale. And maybe it feels good to bend one knee then the other here. If you are a runner or a walker or really any kind of sports, the hamstrings can be so tight, the space behind the knees. So maybe you feel this there. Or maybe if you've been sitting a lot, you feel this more in the low back. But just breathe into the stretch. Let's take one more deep breath. Lift the hips. And on the exhale, try to lengthen the legs. Awesome. And then bring the knees down. And bring the tops of the feet to the mat and the forehead down. Hands back towards the hips. feel the spine is long. Take one more breath here. And then start to press back to seated. Okay. You guys, thank you so much for joining me today. We'll keep these sessions short to start as you're starting to learn what yoga is and start to learn some of the poses and stretches, but I hope you enjoyed this. If anything, I hope you took a couple really nice deep breaths and got excited about the summer and excited about the good weather and having some free time, maybe, whatever you're looking forward to most this summer. And I hope that you get the chance to do some bullet journaling this week to really set your goals and to set your intention for the summer and the next couple months. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you on Wednesday. Take care.